Hello, MLS Aces Podcast, episode 189. This is going to be super difficult to see if I can tweet out a link and talk on a podcast at the same exact time. But this is your host, Tom Sweezy. I am joined by some beautiful, beautiful men with me here tonight. Sam, I'm going to start with you. I'm liking the backdrop. Me personally, haven't been able to see the backdrop a lot live recording. So
yes.
To see it now. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Glad to be back after missing last week. Yeah, the backdrop's coming in nicely of my quote-unquote man cave. I got a couple scarves up. I've got a Spurs poster I've got to put up, but I can't find a frame big enough for it. So that'll go in the other corner once I can find one. So.
Right. And we also have Vaughn rocking a very nice USMNT kit. How are you, Vaughn?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to be back. It feels like I've had a little MLS Aces sabbatical. It's been far too long.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been a little bit for you, and it's all good. Like, that's why, we have the four of us. It's a nice little rotation to make sure everyone stays fresh, right? That's all what it's about. It's about roster rotation. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that thing Colorado still doesn't have.
you hate on I listened to last week's
it's because episode. I like Colorado. That's the problem. Is I want them to succeed, and they didn't make a roster to succeed, and it's really great up front, and they're gonna look really bad in like August.
You're like the dad that really wants their child to do well, so instead of like cheering them on, you're like hardcore.
If I'm ever like that, I literally told my wife to hit me because I would hate as a coach. I've hated those parents, so I need her to hit me if I become like that.
No, I mean, look, I completely understand. I'm the same way. I don't like that either. But this isn't a parenting conversation, right? It's not. Even though we could have
fucking Colorado though. Like, I swear to God. Like, since we're not talking about parenting, God, I want to like them so much, and every time I watch them win, it's just like, yeah, this is great. It's all gonna go poorly soon. I can just feel it.
Rapids fans, we want you guys to be good or better.
I want Colorado to be better.
I think the Rapids are a good team. I just want Colorado to be like top tier of at least the Western Conference, if we're going to talk that way. But I guess the Rapids aren't the number one talking point of soccer within the past week or two. Vaughn, I want to quickly give you the stage to, obviously, Sam, Jason, they broke down U.S. men's national team CONCACAF Nations League victory last week. So, Sam, thank you for handling that last week while Vaughn and I were away. But, Vaughn, I want to give you your quick 30 seconds to really talk about your emotions for that game. I got my stuff out in a blog post, so I'm good. Go check that out on MLSAces.com. But, Vaughn, I want to hear what you had to say.
It just feels really good to have, some positive vibes around the U.S. men's national team again. Right, like being able to watch the games and enjoy them and not feel this existential dread. It's really nice. It felt like the U.S. men's national team is turning a corner. Yeah. Right, like there's a clear direction. You can look at the depth chart and we're like, no, there's legit solid players here, and there's real ideas. And this is a team that, if they come together, if they get it straight, this team can be competitive on an international stage, period. Like, we're not going to be going into World Cup qualifying and being second, third, fourth best in CONCACAF. I think that if we make it into the World Cup, which we should, that's the thing, is that we're back to we should make it in. That this isn't a team that's just going to show up for a group stage and be gone, and we have to wait another 4 years. I think that there are real bright spots for the future, and that feels really, really good.
I mean, look, I think I say, and I don't want to dive too much deep into it. It's been talked about. We're over a week since that game. We've played other games since that game, and we have a Gold Cup, coming up soon. But that game was just fantastic. I think it showed the grittiness that past USMNT teams have had, right? That fight the past USMNT teams have had. And I liked how they just looked like a team, because we haven't had that in years. Like, dudes just wanting to fight and play for each other. And I think that's just the fantastic piece about what we saw against that game against Mexico, right?
Well, it was cathartic. It was like the whole win was so cathartic. Yeah. Like you're watching the game for everyone. We got to the end of the game, and it just felt like this was the biggest win in forever. Like, when was the last time we felt this way? It was so nice.
One of the most iconic photos in USMNT history too. That photo's beautiful.
Legendary. Yeah. The thing is, like, we were in the middle of the game, like it was halftime, and everyone was like, "This is already a classic." Yeah. And then it went off the rails, and it was like you had like anybody, like you could have had a brand new US men's national team fan, somebody that was a casual before. They watch this game, they're hooked now. Yeah. Right? Like that's a game that is a pivotal moment for a lot of fans in their fandom. And that's what felt so good is like, hey, these are the sorts of moments that we need. And I think also the timing, like coming out of a COVID year, having all of these US men's national team games coming up with the Gold Cup, with World Cup qualifying, I think it's really, really good timing for this momentum to be hitting for the US men's national team.
And again, I don't hate it. I'm going to do it, the shameless plugs. But if you want a full breakdown of like every insane moment that happened in that game, go to MLSAces.com. I put out a blog and I put down my emotions about the game. So I don't want to dive too deep on the podcast about it. But I also gave bullet points of every single like absolutely insane moment from Kata getting the red, from the PKs to a streaker, from someone hopping the set at CBS. It was just absolutely a beautiful moment, a crazy moment, and I don't think a game any of us are going to forget anytime soon. But I do got to do some just show notes, right? Some cleaning up here, so you guys can take a nice layback and chill for a second. But the MLSAces podcast is brought to you guys by Time Outfitters. We all have our favorite moments of soccer, right? We all talk about it. We talk about it weekly, right? We tweet about it, we text about it, message about it, everything it may be, right? And everyone has those favorite games from, Barcelona to teams across Europe, teams across the United States to, guess what? The U.S. men's national team defeating Mexico in a Nations League final. And Time Outfitters brings you guys all of those memories from your favorite games on an elastic wristband for your wrist. Time Outfitters is fantastic. Their wristbands are sleek. Their wristbands tell you an entire 90-minute story, or, in some cases, 120-minute story on your wrist. And they actually do have a brand new wristband out showcasing the USMNT Nations League historic win, the first ever win for a CONCACAF Nations League final. So if you guys are interested, you guys want to check it out yourself. And if you're watching the Twitch or you're watching the YouTube, you can see the link down below, and the link will also be in the show notes for the podcast and all of everything else as well. Go to adatimeoutfitters.com, use promo code MLSAces, and get yourself a nice little discount for yourself, for a friend, family member, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to buy this wristband for. Buy it, get yourself one, and use promo code MLSAces for a discount at the site. Thank you guys, and thank you Time Outfitters for sponsoring this episode. And also, let's just talk a little bit more about us, right? Because we are fantastic. We have a website, MLSAces.com. I've talked about it a few times already. We have blogs on that website. We have a little bit more of a breakdown of who we are as a podcast and as, I guess, a thing. I don't even know what to call us, but we're a thing. If you guys want to also support us,
multimedia conglomerate.
Oh, I like it.
That's us. We got YouTube, we got blogs, we got podcasts, boys.
If you want to support this multimedia conglomerate, I like it, then you can go over to the website, or you can also go to patreon.com/MLSAces. You can sign up for a very small monthly fee, and you can, just help support us, get entry into the MLSAces Patreon chat with us, ask us questions whenever, and just bullshit about soccer and football, whatever you want to call it, left and right. Also, I'm potentially trying to bring these back. I think there's only three in existence. Vaughn, you weren't around when we did the initial order, so you don't have.
I was going to say, how do I get my hands on that?
Oh, well, if you get your hands on that, then
$40. And I got you.
Start a hashtag on Twitter, Vaughn. I don't know what to tell you. Hashtag MLSAces tees, right? No. So if you guys are interested and you're watching and you see it, or if you're listening to the podcast and you want to see what the MLSAces t-shirt looks like, it's pretty much just the logo on a shirt. But if you want one, message me about it, and if enough people message me about it, I'll get a shop up again. But
it's mad comfy though.
I hate you, Vaughn.
Oh man.
All right, let's talk about soccer. We put the people through enough a little bit listening to the beginning of this. I definitely wanted to start out this episode just by saying I think we all can agree that thank God Christian Eriksen is okay. I was away last weekend on a little bit of like a father-son trip with my dad. We were golfing,
Nice.
and all of a sudden, I see the MLS Aces, I see the MLS Aces chat just blowing up with messages. And I'm like, okay, I got to check this. I check it and I see all these things about Christian Eriksen. I hop on Twitter. I think this guy is dead. Like, I don't know what's happening. And I know you guys obviously were watching, right? Sam, Vaughn, I think you guys were watching.
I was, yeah.
Sam, then you want to go for it and kind of, you just want to say whatever you want to say about
it. So I don't know. I felt like, pretty close to home for me just because he was a Spurs player for so long. So like for me, it was like a guy I'd literally watched every weekend. For the past like 5 or 6 years, he was on the team before we just sold him. And I was in this room and I was like trying to make it look nicer because it's really still I'm unpacking, and I just dropped everything. I watched him fall during the throw in and just drop, and I'm like, oh, that was really weird. He must have just tripped, and then he just didn't get up. And thankfully, Kar, I think I can't pronounce his name. The center back for Denmark ran over to make sure he didn't swallow his tongue because he thought he was having a stroke, and then started CPR before everyone else ran out to him and covered him up. And I didn't realize what happened. And I'm kind of watching and realizing, and I start just freaking out. Like, holy crap, I think he just died on the field. Like, this is nuts. And it was like, what, 10, 15 minutes? I don't know. Of just, the team was surrounding him to give him privacy, which I think was absolutely the right thing to do. We probably should have cut to the studio a lot earlier than we did. If we did, I wouldn't have seen his eyes convulsing. I wouldn't have seen him getting CPR for 10 minutes. I wouldn't have seen him get the paddles and his wife crying, which is a lot of emotions to just kind of bring in at once. It was very intense. I can only just say, like, it's incredible he's alive today. Like, it really is. The medical team is truly amazing for being able to do what they did on the field at a moment's notice. Like, no hesitation. They knew exactly what they had to do to save him. And, God only knows if he's ever going to play soccer again. But like, the fact that he's still alive is just amazing. And I think it really just reminds you, one, it's really good to have a defibrillator on the field at all times because a lot of, youth soccer and stuff like that's becoming a mandate. And I think it's really important. But two, like, there's a lot more important things in life than soccer. And so like my wife and daughter were out when this was happening. And so I'm just like welling up like a big softy now, but they came home and it was just like big hugs. Like I just felt better. Like it was crazy. So I don't know what else to say other than holy crap, it was the most intense hour of my life and I just couldn't look away.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, it's one of those moments that makes you realize that, obviously we talk about soccer. I think we try to keep the show a little lighthearted because soccer isn't the most important thing in life, right? It's obviously a distraction from stuff that happens in the real world. But obviously, there's a lot of things that go on in life that are bigger than soccer, bigger than a sport. And, it's just, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, Vaughn, I'll let you say your piece about this too.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, it looks like he's okay. I mean, it could have been much, much worse. And what I think is heartwarming in the whole thing is that the global soccer community, we saw the reactions. Everyone came together in solidarity. I think that's one of the beautiful things about the beautiful game is how it can connect people, how it can unite people, and how, everybody knows it's a sport, but there's also these moments that happen. Thank God for modern medicine that there is such thing as a defibrillator that can bring somebody back in that sort of situation. Medical staff were able to get him to a hospital, and it looks like he's going to survive. I mean, I don't know that he's out of the woods yet, but of course, thoughts are still with Christian Eriksen, his family, the Denmark team.
Oh my God, the team! Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, just an unnecessary thing to have to go through, and I'm glad we're not having to talk about this in a different light. 'Cause I think it would be a totally different conversation. So, hopefully that there's some also positivity that can come out of this in terms of, okay, yes, defibrillators, let's have them at every field, at every major competition. For the people that are doing the streaming of these games, learn from this. Do not show all that stuff live. There's got to be some standard policies to get that off air. It's unnecessary to be sharing on a global stream. That was unfortunate how that was handled. Fortunately, I wasn't watching it live at the time. I did go and watch the moment when he went down, so that I could speak to it and not be blind to it. But I'm thankful that I didn't have to experience those 10 minutes of horror. But I know there's so many people in the soccer world that did watch that, and hopefully we don't have to go through that again.
No, exactly. And I think also another thing I would love to take away is having every single medical staff for both teams, stadiums, whatever, trained in CPR as well. Because that was something I learned that not all medical staffs are trained in. Because again,
that's like one of the most important things.
You would think the captain for Denmark, obviously just doing it right away probably helped. I don't know in what capacity, but it helped, right? And it's unbelievable. Like the moment we had today between Denmark and Belgium, I think in the 10th minute when they stopped the game, and that was just a beautiful moment, right? Again, shows you things are bigger than soccer. I think, like you said, Vaughn, I'm happy we're talking about it in this light than in another light of what could have potentially been an outcome, but we're glad he's okay. And yes, Vaughn, good comment at the bottom of aces for Eriksen. Definitely, for sure.
And also credit to the referee for stopping play after 5 seconds. That also was a factor in this, and that there was a clear every second counts in that moment. And if that would have been let's wait and see what's happening from run of play and 20 seconds pass, who knows once again. So thankfully everything turned out how it did.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah. And the team doctor even said they lost him on the field, and the defibrillator brought him back. So he was gone. That's the most insane thing ever. And if he had even waited 10 seconds instead of 5 seconds, it would have been the difference. So everything, thank God, worked out the way it did. But it's crazy to think that way.
Exactly. And I don't know the best way to transition out of these moments. We've had plenty of sad moments on this show. I think one of my worst transitions was after the passing of Siggy Schmidt. It was just Jason and I did not have a nice transition out of that. So I'm just going to keep rambling and talking and say that our thoughts are with them. Our thoughts are with the Eriksen family. And, let's turn to some other news and hopefully cheer people up as well. Vaughn, you are wearing one of the, I think, cleaner looking USMNT kits that we've had, right? That's even the old US Soccer logo, which is crazy looking back at
the OG.
Right, but
vintage.
There is a brand new USMNT, US Women's National Team, US Soccer kit in general that dropped recently. If you haven't seen it, again, you can head over to MLSAces on Instagram. Just MLSAces now. I got that, so that was nice. But head over there and you can check out the new jersey that we saw. Alex Morgan, we saw Kristen Press, Christian Pulisic, Serginho Dest, all of the stars of US Soccer rocking and obviously getting out there, but. Sam, I'll go to you first. This brand new USMNT kit, US Soccer kit. I keep on just going. USMNT is on the mind after that game, honestly. But US Soccer kit, how are you feeling about it?
Yes, I clearly am in the minority because I actually like it a lot. I think it's very, very different, but to me, it's really reminiscent of the 2017 Gold Cup kit. Which I have worn on the show a number of times, but it's that dark red and dark blue stripes. And, it's that little bit different, that Nike touch, I guess, quote unquote, but it's, I don't know. I like it. And I know most people are just like, there's too much going on. It's not, traditional enough, but different enough at the same time. And I don't know. To me, it just works. And with it being an away kit, we're just going to get a super traditional white kit as a home kit for both teams now. So take what you can get, right?
I will say that I am in the minority. I'm sorry. I'm in the majority. I apologize. Not with you, Sam. I'm not with.
Never mind. I don't like this anymore.
Said the wrong word. I do not like this kit. It just seems very bright to me, and I don't know if that makes sense. It's just I want something a little bit easier on the eyes, maybe. The one thing that I do have to say is I feel like this could be nice to see on TV, which I think is a big thing of it, right? Like I think some people view kits as like, can I buy it? Can I rock it? Can I wear it walking down the street? And then there's also like the soccer player aspect of like when I'm watching it on TV, how does it look? And I think this could look good watching it on TV. I just wouldn't wear it like, like going out to a party type of deal. That's just me though. But Vaughn, jersey, kit.
That was my only take on it is, I think right now there's an attempt in all jersey design to be like that city chic, like can wear with jeans, can wear, it's not just going to be a soccer fan wearing it. It's something that is also a marketing piece for the national team.
I get it.
And for Nike in that regard. Yep. So is it striking? Is it bold? It's not cookie cutter. I think it's good that they are trying to do something. Is it going to be one of those ones that we're, 10, 15 years from now talking about like the denim kit or the bomb pop? No.
The bomb pop.
Is it an okay jersey? Yeah, it's fine.
I just want the denim kit back. That's all I want. Just give me like a remade version of the denim kit. Like
I'm surprised Nike hasn't just like gone for that because they know that's a cash grab, right? Like,
but you know
to just remake that,
save it
for the World Cup
for 2026. That's what I want.
Shit.
That's what I
want. All right, like I guess I could wait 5 years. Like that's fine.
Okay, so that's that. I mean, super short. I mean, it's a jersey at the end of the day. And
it's a podcast, so you really can't see it.
I haven't bought a USA kit in years now. The last one I bought was the all black with the red and blue sleeves. I don't know if it was a nickname for that one. It was honestly on sale, so I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. But that was the last one I bought. So I think I'm in line for a new one, and I need to get a player on this one because that one I don't have a player on. I don't know who to get though. But that's all I got kit wise. Let's talk about design. Vaughn, you brought up a good point that we didn't have in the show notes. Thank you. I missed this one. The rumored New England Revolution logo, and I'm furious because I think it was
ridiculous.
2 or 3 weeks ago where we were talking about the potential redesign, well, not potential, the Columbus Crew redesign. And my biggest takeaway from all of that was we need to save the Revs. And look what the fuck happened. We're losing them. We're losing the goddamn clip art logo, and I'm pissed. And I'm also pissed off because I really like the redesign. Like I hate myself that I like it. Like it's so good. It's beautiful. It looks. It's so
fine. It's fine.
Like, just the Revs. Whoever created the logo back in '96 is a genius. Whoever created the logo in 21 is a goddamn genius. And I just think I'm a Revs fan now. Honestly.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's fine. Like it's not amazing.
It's beautiful.
No, it's not.
I think I like it because it reminds when I first looked at it, I thought of Rangers.
It looks like a Rangers kit. Like,
it looks old timey.
Yes,
it definitely looks old timey.
It looks like what the original '96 logo probably should have looked like.
It's like if Paxton Pomykal goes there and starts curling his mustache, he would fit in as a Rev.
It's just. Dude, the old logo is it's the last classic we have. Like, everyone's rebranded since then. Like, this is what we have, and it's literally crayon drawings. But that's Soccer America, goddammit, and I love it. And I want to keep it.
When
I had one of those jerseys as a kid.
Vaughn, yes.
I do want to say I did not like the Roundel version of it.
No,
stick with that unique shape that they've got there in the middle. I don't even know what to call it. Clover-ish thing.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing about all of this between the Crew logo and the Revs logo? I've never heard the word Roundel more in my entire life.
My gosh,
probably the past 6 weeks. I didn't even know what a roundel was up until 6 weeks ago.
You should get on lower league soccer Twitter, and that's all we talk about is like logos and stuff. And roundel is a very common term because that's all anyone uses.
The trigger word.
It is. Can't you just see me shaking? Like, oh, it's terrible.
Well, I mean, thank you, Vaughn. I think I honestly learned the word from you from hearing it so much. So thank you for educating me on the word roundel. But yeah, no, I guess any other thoughts outside of me having
Don't fucking do it.
Okay, there you go.
Don't fucking do it.
Thank God they're not changing names though, right?
If they
They're not going down that road.
If they were going to like Boston United, I would have been done. Like I would have just
but like if they actually played in Boston, I'd be okay with them. Like,
they went to Foxborough FC. Ooh. Foxborough. Oh, I love it. Actually, rebrand that. Please rebrand that right now.
I was big into the boroughs.
Queensboro.
I wanted Charlottetown for Charlotte FC.
I did too.
Yeah.
FC Charlotte or Charlotte FC?
Charlotte FC.
Charlotte FC. Okay.
Just on a side note, real quick, because this might make Vaughn happy. Saw my Football Manager save. Charlotte FC is like the best team in their inaugural season, and they're like smoking fucking everyone. It's ridiculous.
Foreshadowing, love it.
It's absolutely nonsensical. Oh, and New York City like won the CONCACAF Champions League. All this stuff, like it was a very ridiculous like MLS look while I was playing with Leipzig. So
did you have Christian Fuchs on Charlotte FC?
No, they had Christian Fuchs on Charlotte FC.
So, I'm so glad you guys said his name first because I have no idea how to say it. I was going to say it a complete other way. Have you seen? Oh, Vaughn, you've clearly seen it. Obviously, the Fuchs Zero shirt. Like,
what?
Like it's
zero Fuchs. Zero Fuchs.
Yeah, it's like a jersey. It says Fuchs and then zero, and I love it, and I need it.
I need that. If that could please be his number, but he's going to pick like the number 8.
I don't think you can something. I don't think you can wear a 0.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
MLS so boring with their rules,
right? But I'll still buy a Charlotte logo and 0 Fuchs on the back. Like that's all I want. So I need to look at that after this. But we're 27 minutes in, and I feel like we should probably move.
We're doing great.
A little bit. Great. We're doing great, honey. Good. We're doing great, sweetie. Quickly want to mention.
That's what he calls me, guys. It's fine.
Quickly want to mention the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers that have happened the past week. Obviously, Nations League wasn't the only important games going on in CONCACAF in the past week. Other countries do play in CONCACAF outside of USA and Mexico. I know it's shocking to think about, but it's true. Within the past week, we had the final 3 teams join the initial 5 to round out the octagonal, whatever we're going to call it. Octagonal for
CONCACAF roundel.
Oh God!
The CONCACAF Elite 8. That's there's plenty of names out there for it. But we had the final 3 join. Canada held off Haiti in a 2-game aggregate.
It was really tough when the goalie messed up that bad.
It was one.
Actually, when the center back messed up that bad, if you watch Jimmy Conrad talk about it.
Jimmy Conrad blames the
I had the same thing happen to me in sevens like yesterday.
Oh,
it felt terrible.
That's embarrassing.
I know, and now I'm sharing here. Like I literally had a nightmare last night about it.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, don't give me the ball. Just don't give me the ball.
In all seriousness, like I feel so bad for him. Like that's like that's awful. But
because like Haiti wasn't looking bad up until that point. So like that's a harsh way to kind of start that process.
I really wish we didn't. And I've said this. Like I've done like Twitter Spaces, and I've talked about it on there. I'm really sad we had Canada Haiti in kind of like a matchup to see who makes it on. I really wanted to see both teams make it to the final 8 just because I think both teams are some of the better teams in CONCACAF over Panama or El Salvador, who also made it on. El Salvador took care of St. Kitts and Nevis like 6-0 over aggregate or whatever the hell it was.
How crazy would that have been though to have like St. Kitts and Nevis like in the octagonal?
Hey, I mean
I'm like, that's what it's all about.
I mean, it's nuts, honestly. I do want to give a quick shout out to El Salvador because one, they called up Eric Zavaleta from TFC. They got him into the national team. He wore the captain's armband for the second game against St. Kitts and Nevis. So shout out Eric. Had him on the podcast. Very nice guy. We've actually talked about getting him onto the El Salvadorian national team. And they also reportedly are calling up Alex Roldan for the Gold Cup. So El Salvador just taking ex-US players, and they also have Josh Perez, if you remember him from Fiorentina and LAFC.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. He has 4 goals in like 5 games for El Salvador. It's sick. But
okay, that's actually really cool. That's
I like what they're doing. And then Panama, they took care of Curacao.
Boo.
Shout out my boy Eloy Room. He had a really good PK save in the second game. Held a 0-0 shutout, but just not good enough. I'm sorry. But that's the final 8. I guess any comments on the final 8 before we get into really what we're supposed to do this episode?
It should be exciting. Like don't we start against Honduras? Like I really like that we're starting against Honduras
and Costa Rica away, and then
I'm okay with that.
And then I think it's Mexico in the U.S. Not that really matters. And then we really need to have like a World Cup spot locked up by the second time we play Honduras or Costa Rica, and I feel really confident, but we'll see. Yeah.
Hey, we just beat Costa Rica 4-0. It's fine, guys.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
So I guess I also haven't mentioned this podcast. I'm doing really great in hosting a podcast, guys. But last June of 2020, Sam, you were here. Jason was doing it with us last time, where we had a U.S. men's national team. Where should they go? List of USMNT players whose club futures were kind of up in the air a little bit.
One of the best episodes.
It was a very good episode, and I also predicted Weston McKennie going to Juventus, and it came true. Yep. I think I predicted the transfer fee exactly correct too, and I don't know how I did that one, but insane.
Yeah, no, you did. It was impressive.
I'm just really good. But so we're going to do that again tonight. Obviously, we're back in another place where we have some USMNT players who don't really know where we're going yet. Like, right? Their club careers aren't going down the steady path like some other guys like a Pulisic or Reina or whoever you want to talk about. So we're going to go down some players. We're going to talk about them, and we're going to say where we think they should go. Obviously, some of the players we're going to name, we already have a good idea of where they're headed. There's been some heavy rumors. I'll just throw it out there, like the Conrad de la Fuente, apparently leaving Barcelona to go to Marseille. That's apparently almost a done deal, so that's pretty easily given. So we may talk about that more. Also, like, Josh Sargent, I know he's very heavily connected to Borussia Mönchengladbach right now as well. So we could potentially talk about that a little bit more as well. But we'll kind of just go around. Vaughn, I'll let you start. Pick a player. Let's go with it.
Well, I guess I'll go from the top of the list that we had, and that's Ethan Horvath.
The hero of the U.S. men's national team.
Hero of the U.S. men's national team. Really great time for him to have a marquee game for his national team. Right?
A lot of guys talk about how, like, in that final year contract, they're always playing, like, for their lives for their new contract. My guy did it at the last possible minute.
He's like, hold my beer, bro. I'm going in.
Yep.
Well, and also, like, when he was subbed on, can we just talk about that for 1 minute? It's like Zach Steffen was trying real hard to stay on the field.
Because Zach Steffen knew.
But also, like, you could see Zach Steffen, like, he was not ready to go. Like, he had to come out. Like,
Zach
he literally
his boy up, though. I do have to say that. He got his guy ready.
Yeah.
You have to. Like, he didn't want to lose the game.
But I think Horvath, he was outstanding in that moment, coming on and really stepping up on the big stage. Yeah. But where's he going to go? I mean, this is a tough exercise. I started going through this list, and I'm like, who knows? Who knows? I mean, I will say I've had my eyes on him for a little while for Charlotte FC. Like, I've been, like, crossing my fingers, like, please come MLS stateside. But I don't know that's going to work out timing-wise. And quite frankly, for his career, he probably needs to stay in Europe. Wherever he goes, he's got to get minutes. I think that's the biggest thing for him is, like, be the starter wherever you go. Yep. The problem is that he's been at Club Brugge, and he's not consistently the starter.
Yep.
So Where to? He's been linked to Fortuna Sittard, I believe. I was kind of trying to look. I think it would make a lot of sense for him to go to like the Eredivisie of teams there. I was thinking like a mid-table team, maybe like a Twente, but I really don't know. That's my like guess is, hey, if he went from Belgium over to the Netherlands, I think he would be scouted very heavily by some of those sides. So to me, that's a pretty logical step, and I think a mid-table Eredivisie team, like if you look at Horvath versus Kenneth Vermeer, I think he absolutely could hold his own in the Eredivisie and would have a lot of eyes on him for that next stepping stone. But I think he's 26. I think he need whatever he does. Let's take that step where you're getting real minutes, and he could very seriously be the number 1 or number 2, depending on form and health status. Heading into some major competitions, even World Cup qualifying for the U.S. men's national team.
And the thing about this activity, Vaughn, is about having some fun. And you took a I respect it. You went super safe with Twente, or however you say it. But I need more fun pick. I was kidding. I respect it. Last year, I
started with Charlotte FC.
That's fun for you.
Yeah.
We don't want him there.
So I forgot that I spent all this time writing down a little introduction for every single player. So sorry, Horvath, you're not going to get it this time. But the guy's been at Bruges since 2017. He was the starter, lost the starting job. We saw him crying after a shutout, or I think he stopped a PK in Champions League. We've seen him come on for the U.S. men's national team and be a hero. Ethan Horvath is a very good goalkeeper, I think, and I just think he needs a shot to not have a veteran come in and just like a veteran name that just come in and kind of take over.
He's also really boring. Like,
he's what?
He's really freaking boring. Did you listen to that post-game conference?
He doesn't drink.
He was that I don't even care about that. I don't judge him for that.
Neither does Ronaldo. Ronaldo's pushing the cokes away.
Wait, hang on. Sorry.
But he's just like, it was a good game. Really was happy there. Oh, what did Christian Pulisic say? Oh, he didn't say anything to me. Like, it's just like, Jesus Christ, dude, be exciting. You just won. You literally won that game for us. Like, and you're just like, yep.
Yeah, good shit. Goalkeepers are a little crazy, bro. You know that.
No, he's not crazy. He's boring. It's very different. Tim Howard is crazy. Tim Howard is psycho.
Well, okay. No matter what.
Sorry. So anyway, I really like him as a goalkeeper, though.
But he is a very good goalkeeper. I really do believe that. He's won a ton of trophies also everywhere he's been, pretty much as well. So good for him. I think he could take a step to a Bundesliga club, and I'm talking like lower middle tier Bundesliga, maybe a team. I'm picking a team that I think hit above its weight this year. A team that also had Loris Karius in net on loan from Liverpool. I'm talking Union Berlin. I think Berlin are going to take a step back in the Bundesliga. If they bring Karius on full time, if they bring him back on loan, then Horvath is the backup again. But I think Horvath could do enough to compete to be a starter on a middle to low tier Bundesliga team like a Berlin, get a little bit of that, interest out there. I mean, look, we saw Zach Steffen exceed at a bottom tier Bundesliga team, right? And he's doing what he's doing now. So I think he could go to the Bundesliga. I just don't think he's going to like a top 8 Bundesliga side. Maybe a little bit less of a notable side, but that's where I want to see him, is excelling there. Because also I think from Belgium to Germany, Vaughn, kind of going down your pathway there, like the scouts are there. Like, there's that connection there. So I think that's where I see him going. Samuel?
Yeah. Hi, goalie here. So that's me. So I should probably have a good freaking answer for this, shouldn't I? I have a lot of stats written down about a lot of players. He is not one of them. So Horvath was scouted by besides Fortuna Sittard, Empoli, who's coming up from Serie B, into Italy, and then apparently Tottenham is too. It's just I don't know about that one. Unless you want to be third string. I mean, we need a third string keeper. So like if he wants to do that, but that seems silly to me. So I was kind of looking towards Italy, and then I was thinking, he did really well in Belgium, the countries around Belgium and things like that. And I got kind of stuck on France. and League On, which like none of us can watch because of the freaking TV deal and everything. But I've always kind of had a soft spot for League On. So I was looking around at these teams, looking at besides the fact that goalkeepers kind of peak when they're like 30, 31, they're still like aging by 30, 34 unless you're a lovely Italian goalkeeper who just left to go to Serie B. So Bordeaux in League One was like 15. They were pretty low on the table. They have Benoit Costil, who's like the France number 3, number 4 keeper. But he's at 33, about to be turning 34 mid-season. He's probably got a year or two left before they're going to have to move on from him. They also conceded a goal and a half per game last year, so like they really can't get much worse besides going down. And Bordeaux has had a lot of struggles to just stay up every year, and I think that could be good for him. But if not Bordeaux, the idea of him in Italy also intrigues me. Which, if you guys remember last year, I said that Zach Steffen should go to Italy. I said there were a couple places down there that he would be good at, Sassuolo being one of them. But Torino, who's just outside the relegation zone for Italy, would be really good. They have Salvatore Sirigu, who used to be PSG, things like that. He's like 35 right now. So it's these aging goalkeepers that need to kind of be moved on, and they need this guy who's 26 who can play, who has played at the Champions League level against Real Madrid. Like, come on. He's got the skills. He just needs a shot. And I think even if he goes to like Empoli or Sittard, he'll show his stuff, and he is a capable goalkeeper. And I think he'll earn another move pretty quickly just based on his talent. He just needs to play.
I had something coming from another tab somewhere. I don't know if you guys heard it. I hope you didn't hear it. That was like very weird music.
I did not.
But I mean, I think he needs to play. It's a weird combination of I want to see him go to a spot where he's going to get first team minutes, but he's also young enough as a goalkeeper where if he's a backup for another year or two, it wouldn't hurt him fully, right? So it's I'm in a weird spot with him. I think probably the same way, and I don't remember last year's episode fully, but probably the same way we were talking about Zach Steffen a little bit, right? Yep. And now obviously
we just wanted him to play. That was our thing last year, and I think that's the same thing now. We just want these guys to get minutes. That's the whole thing.
Exactly. Well, Sam, I'm writing you down for Bordeaux. So
Bordeaux sounds good.
So Bordeaux is what I'm writing you down for.
Can't wait for him to sign with Torino.
I will let you pick the next player, and then I'm going to read my introduction this time.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to kind of look at the players, but I know the guy who I really want to talk about next, and that's Anthony Robinson.
Yup.
I really want to talk about him.
Yup. Okay.
So introduce him for us, please.
Robinson, for those of you who don't know, is a 23-year-old left back that last year joined Fulham while Fulham was kind of going on their big spending spree to their introduction back into the English Premier League. He's played 131 games between Fulham, Wigan, and Bolton. 12 caps for the US men's national team, which is also a surprising number. I didn't think he was that high with caps already, but
I think that's relatively low.
Very. I don't, for 23, that's not that bad. But
that's true.
Very attacking left back, right? Maybe not the most defensive prowess left back or defender in general. But Sam, you picked Anthony Robinson. Yeah. Tell me why, and where do you think he's going?
So I think Anthony Robinson is really exciting as as you said, attacking fullback. I think he's super exciting going forward. His defense leaves a bit, but he's 23 years old. He's fast and he's really good on the ball. So with that, he had a very good season with Fulham, who was very, very bad. He became their starter. I think it was 5 or 6 weeks into the season, and was kind of moving in and out with Bryant on the left side. He did complete 70% of his dribbles last season. So if he was one-on-one with a guy, he won 70% of them. That's 51 successful dribbles as a left back is very, very good. Now where I want him to go, because he definitely should not be staying with Fulham.
No.
And I didn't think this at first. I thought that Anthony Robinson was kind of whatever. Getting linked with Man City really changes my opinion on him. Just that anyone thinks he's that good. Like, oh, okay, maybe he does have more raw talent because I don't know if you guys watched a lot of Fulham, but I didn't because they're very, very boring and they lost a lot of games. Unless your favorite team was playing Fulham, did you really watch them last year? Probably not. So,
Full America, baby.
Full America, yeah. Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson. Ooh, really exciting, right? Yeah, I liked them when they had, Dempsey. But I think that Leeds is a really good spot for Anthony Robinson. Leeds, Bielsa plays this big attacking, all out the whole game, just attack force for a guy who can play at the wing back too, and just get forward, and can make those saving runs backwards, and he can go the whole game, no questions asked. And his only other left back who really they have a 33-year-old left back who I really don't know why he's playing for Leeds, but they have Alioski who plays for North Macedonia, and if you've been watching the Euros, he's very, very good.
That's
he's very exciting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. North Macedonia, very exciting. But Alioski is their main piece, so it's very easy to watch him right now. Now, when he's for Fulham, he's a little bit more subdued, and he's still trying to get forward. And again, not a lot of Leeds time was watched by me, but he only had 11 successful one-on-one dribbles this past season, which was 42% of his total dribbles. So Anthony Robinson's 51. Could you imagine if Bielsa had a left back who won 50% of his one-on-one dribbles last year to get the ball into the box? If he can get that crossing on point, I think he'd be really good. And it's, maybe it's a little experimental, but he's very, very expansive in my opinion, and I just think it'd be exciting. And Leeds are an exciting, fun team to watch. So it feels like a good fit to me.
Okay. I mean, I really like that pick. But Vaughn, I'll let you go if you want to comment on Sam or you want to go with your pick.
I mean, for Anthony Robinson, I just don't see him as a Premier League starter. I know he was there at Fulham, but Fulham got relegated. Right? I don't see him fitting in with a lot of he would not be a starter for most Premier League teams. And I know he's been linked to Man City, but I'm looking for him to get minutes. So I actually, in my, looking at where he could go, I think he could follow Scott Parker, who's been his manager at Fulham. There's rumors that Scott Parker could be going to Bournemouth. So I could see him going down to the championship, and I could see him following his manager and trying to help get relegated back up. Just because I don't see him necessarily getting minutes if he goes to another Premier League side. So I see him not sticking in the Premier League. If he does, I just don't see him playing. So I'm hoping he gets somewhere, once again, like with Horvath, that he goes somewhere where he's going to get minutes, and I think that's going to be in the championship.
I hate the negativity about Anthony Robinson, Vaughn.
I just don't think he's a starter.
I agree. I overall agree. I would like to see him stay in the Premier League just because I feel like he could be beneficial to a team that is playing a bunch of games, playing European games midweek, and maybe need a young left back to come in and eat up some minutes midweek.
So does he go to a Leicester City where we know they just got rid of the Christian Fuchs and get some depth?
He wasn't playing last season anyway.
No, but I said depth. I'm saying he wouldn't be the starter at Leicester.
Yeah,
I want him to.
That's fair.
I want him going to a Premier League team where he is going to have to start some weekend games, come in as a sub, some weekend games. He's a known commodity right now in England, which I think does help, right? Getting some Premier League minutes. He's played plenty of championship minutes in his own right. Honestly, Vaughn, he took the wind out of my sails by picking the team that I went with, but it's fine. Leicester City. I mean, I had another one, so I might just pick the other one now at this point. But
no, you can have it. I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
I'm going with the other one.
Oh my gosh.
They're going
West Ham. Chelsea.
West Ham.
West Ham. Not bad.
They finished in a Europa League spot, right? we've seen in the past with teams who normally aren't finishing within that top 6 in England have that major fall off. And I think it's because a lot of guys are playing a lot of minutes and they're not used to having that rotation. I think you bring in Anthony Robinson, who's played in the Premier League. He knows what these games look like every weekend. If you have him playing on the weekends, you have your best team playing during the week in Europa League. Even Anthony Robinson getting some Europa League minutes as well. I like it. That's just me. Maybe that's more of a dream pick than a realistic pick, but
you said that about Juve last year. I have no judgment on picks anymore.
And
I don't know.
Also, I think when like Pep, there's open rumors that like Pep's interested in you. I think that kind of drives your market up a little bit, just like a little bit, you know. But that's me.
Well, and it helps that you're an American because the English are now realizing that Americans are into soccer. They understand that it's a marketing ploy to sign Americans. Like, so they're not stupid, but
honestly, but like Vaughn, like I also like. I feel like it can go either way. It's like Anthony Robinson is going to be a depth piece like in the 18 every single week for a Premier League side, or he's going to be like top of the championship side, like a Bournemouth who should have got promoted last year, but should get promoted like, you know, any single year.
Should they have?
They should have. But yes, like that's where I'm feeling Anthony Robinson is. I'd like to see him both spots. I think there's benefits to both. I think there's negatives to both. But I mean, obviously, look, if Pep wants to sign him and he goes to Man City, I'll be partying.
Can't wait for him to go to New York City.
Can we all agree that he is not, as reported, like the rumors to Man City, he is not a $10 million left back?
No, God, no. Oh, no.
Look, because that's the number that's being tied to him.
But Khan's going to try to pull all the money out of him again. Like, that's what an owner does. Like,
if City can, whatever they sell Jack Harrison for to Leeds, they should probably, like, if they turned around and like bought that in Anthony Robinson, I wouldn't hate it because I think like the rumor is like £8 million for Jack Harrison to Leeds or something.
Oh my gosh, really?
Which is ridiculous because he had a combined like 13 goals and assists last year, but whatever. You know, NYCFC product too, but whatever.
Chicago Fire product.
Chicago Fire product initially.
He was there for 30 seconds.
Most of the guys we're going to talk about tonight are going to be European guys just because I think that's just how it goes. But there are a few MLS players we have on our short list, and I do want to bring one up because I have defended him through and through the past few weeks, months, and that is good old Jozy Altidore, baby. So obviously, I really love the excitement from you two on this one. I see
Vaughn's
ready.
I'm really lost.
Shit.
I didn't do any research on Jozy Altidore.
That's fine.
What's there to research?
No, just give it.
I know about Jozy Altidore, but like, where's a team that needs him?
Jozy Altidore,
DC United, but still, like, it's fine.
There's been a lot of rumors around what Jozy Altidore is going through right now. Apparently, TFC's asked him to train on his own. GM Ali Curtis has confirmed that, and that his future with TFC is going to be up in the air and decided during this international window. Well, the international window is coming to an end soon. There's rumors that he's going to Liga MX. There's rumors of a lot of things, but there is also a very large salary over the head of Jozy Altidore. So is another MLS team going to come in and fix that or grab onto that salary? I don't know. But obviously, you know, I'm not going to give him a full like breakdown of his stats and his career. Everyone who's listening to this knows who Jozy Altidore is. He is a U.S. men's national team legend, just maybe kind of falling out of favor with USMNT fans. Do it the same exact right. But Vaughn, you looked ready to fight. So I want to start with you. I want to see where you think Jozy Altidore should go.
I think he stays in MLS. I'll start with that.
Okay.
I don't think he goes to Liga MX. I don't see why that would happen. There are two teams, that I have in my like dream. Please go to one of these two. Number one is Club de Foot Montreal. I just need the TFC Montreal game with Jozy like trying to run down the throats of TFC's defense. I love the idea of that.
Okay.
And I think he would fit in like Mason Toye and Jozy as like the two attacking options. And you got Bjorn Johnson, but or Johnson, excuse me. But that's what I'm saying. I think Jozy would be that little spice off the bench that could do some interesting things for Montreal.
Okay.
So that's one. And the other that I think is also kind of a logical line of thinking is Orlando. Orlando, obviously, Toronto's been down in Orlando, so it wouldn't be a big move for him from the training field. But it also is kind of that Dom Dwyer move between Orlando and TFC. And he's very much, as I've said before on the podcast, in that same vein as Dom Dwyer. So with some of the injuries that they've had in Orlando, like Pato being out, they need some attacking options. I think he would be an upgrade over some of their other guys like Tesho Akindele. I think Jozy could come in and be a real contributor for Orlando. So those are my two, I would be perfectly happy and looking forward to watching that happen.
Okay. I mean, look, I don't hate it. I just don't know if an MLS team had, my whole thing is it comes down to the logistics of the money, right? That is super.
Gotta find a team with low cap.
A low cap team.
Not necessarily. If they do a loan, a 1 season loan, and they could also force Toronto to eat some of the contract, and Toronto may have to do that just to get him off the books to get some cap relief if they want to bring in a replacement. Absolutely.
I don't fully see it, right? I think I don't know. I just don't fully see it. I do have to say though, I'm down between one MLS team and one Liga MX team that I could see him going to. And I guess I'll pick two here. I think if he stays within Major League Soccer, we've already talked about this team, Sam, your boys, that's that tough love of the Colorado Rapids. Let's throw him
boys. I thought you were talking about DC. I was like, all right,
DC United, yeah.
No, not those.
We need a scorer.
Let's throw him in the middle of all those wingers, and something's got to happen.
There's a lot of wingers.
The dude's got to be scoring goals in Colorado if he goes there, right, and that works out.
Yeah.
Again, if I had to pick, I think a Liga MX side, because I think there is a lot of interest in a dude like Jozy Altidore down in Mexico. I want to see him go to Monterrey. I think a top tier MLS Liga MX side. They do have Vincent Janssen down there. Maybe we get a little Janssen Jozy Altidore action up top for Monterrey. I'd love to see it. That's just me personally, but I guess I'll go more MLS. If I had to make an official pick, I'll pick the Colorado Rapids. Sam,
I dig it. Hi, I'm here.
I let you go last so you could think about it.
So I've literally been skewing around at salary caps and things like that, just in case. Because Vaughn, you're right. They might try to loan him and just get him off.
Also,
if they're in the
sorry,
mood.
I picked the Rapids because the Rapids don't have any active DPs right now because Eunice Nomley's out for 12 weeks. So also just saying that.
Geez. Yeah. Well, I guess I should look at DPs, but I didn't think about that. I think you should go to Houston. I think Houston, they've got some exciting talent. I think they're a better team than a lot of people are kind of thinking they are. Tab Ramos coached Jozy for the men's national team for a few years. So they already know each other. It's kind of a system that could work for Jozy. And between him and Christian Ramirez, I feel like that could be an exciting front too if they did use two strikers. So I don't know. One got to hold it up. Christian Ramirez is still spry enough to run. So I think that could be fun. I don't know. I'm not really big on Jozy Altidore moving. I feel like TFC was a good spot for him, and I kind of hate seeing him having to leave.
Yeah, club legend. It's sad, but
pretty much he is a club legend.
Can I throw one more name into the hat?
Go for
it.
I think he could go to Barnsley because he's a Daryl DK light.
Light.
Daryl DK light is very accurate.
He's Daryl DK.
He'd be cheaper than DK.
He would be very, very.
That's for sure.
All right. Well,
could he do what DK does?
Do you want to
hold up?
No, I mean it's literally.
Can he muscle guys and be a hold up attacker?
Yeah. I'm just kidding. He's literally the same guy.
Do you want to go down the path of Daryl DK?
I would love to.
All right, Daryl DK, 21-year-old striker for Orlando City. Obviously, if maybe it's your first time watching soccer, listening to something soccer, don't know why would you pick us first, but shoot, we're here.
But you should.
Daryl DK has been around Orlando City, obviously, since 2020. He has played 44 games between Orlando City and his lone stint within Barnsley and scored a ton of goals in both of his places. He has 3 caps for the USMNT already and a goal for us as well on the national team level. So, Vaughn, you brought up DK. Where do you want the man to go? Where do you want the big man to go?
I keep being torn because I have 2 teams again on my list. And can I keep doing this? 2 teams? Can I hedge my bets?
I mean, when eventually I make the graphic for social media, I'm just gonna pick one. So yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. But I'll talk about it too. I think he's going to eventually get that jump to the Premier League. He's a guy that I think has proven he is at minimum a stud at Champions League level. And I say Champions League, excuse me, English Championship. But I think he's ready for the Premier League. Yeah. There are 2 teams, and once again, I think I'm eyeing mid-table Premier League. The 2 teams are Newcastle, because I think I could see that. I just want to see that Almiron DK connection. I would love to see that.
I'd buy that jersey in a heartbeat.
But then the other one is Wolves. Because I look at Wolves, they had 36 goals scored this year, which I think was 3rd worst in the Premier League.
That's less than a goal a game. That's pretty weak.
So they need some help. They need some love in attack. And I think some of their guys, they got Traore running down I think that it'd be really interesting to see DK playing for Wolves. I would love that. So yeah, I'd say probably my lead is Wolves. The only reason I say Newcastle is because of the Almiron connection. So yeah, I'll go with Wolves.
But that's good because they already are willing to buy into MLS. They're a team that has clearly done it already. So that takes a jump because half these teams in England, they don't want to make that jump. And half the teams in the world don't want to make the jump and buy an MLS player. So to have someone who's already done that, I think Newcastle's a good shout just because they've already done it once. Why not go for a top talent striker?
Yeah.
I like the Newcastle shout. I really like the Wolves shout because I was going to go with Wolves because I also Raul Jimenez, Daryl DK. Maybe we get a little CONCACAF action. 0-0 to Soe also running around Wolves somewhere, right? So we get a little USMNT love as well. So I'm not going to go Wolves. I won't copy you there, Vaughn. But I was bouncing around a little bit with a few different ideas here. And I think that, if some rumors are true going around some of the top 6 teams in the Premiership, I think we could maybe see
top 6. Oh man,
Sam. Again, I'm going with your boys.
Shut up.
I think if Harry Kane ends up leaving Tottenham, that's bringing down.
That's
DK.
The replacement.
Okay, I'll give a serious answer. Everton. Everton was my pick. Obviously, heavy links to Everton already. There's been a lot of rumors there. I think it honestly does make sense for him to come in behind Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Levin, and really just be able to kind of just grow there, come off the bench, and just be a dude there. And honestly, Everton's a big enough club where you're going to have U.S. soccer fans ready to buy an Everton kit with DK on the back. That's it. There's also a marketing part of this. But yeah, maybe I'm going the safe route with the heavy linked rumors, but I'm going Everton.
I like that. That's good. So I'll jump in and give my pick. And it is a team who is willing to go for Americans. And it's in England, and we'll see if you guys can kind of guess where I'm going because there's a bunch of those teams. It's not Fulham,
Chelsea.
Yeah, no. DK going to Chelsea really when they're trying to buy Erling Haaland? We just couldn't get him, so let's get Daryl DK instead.
Hey, he's better. It's fine.
Let's go between Timo Werner and freaking Giroud
and Kai Havertz, somewhere.
And Kai Havertz, yeah, somewhere in there up front. So, My pick is that Daryl Dike stays in the championship, and I think it will only be for a season. And that's why I want him to go to Swansea. If you can't beat them, join them, right? They lost to Swansea in the semifinals of the playoff. And Swansea just got rid of Andre Ayew. He was out of contract and did not want to re-sign with them. He was their starting striker, 16 goals this year. Like, I think Daryl Dike could literally just step right in. And Swansea, who's obviously willing to go with Americans because they had an American head coach in Bob Bradley for a little bit, tried to sign 2 guys on loan from MLS. Neither of them worked out.
Yeah.
But if you read the Athletics article from Paul Areola, it's because their field sucks.
Yeah.
But I think DK, like, who's obviously already proven himself in the championship, would be like, catapult them from like 3rd or 4th in the championship to 1st. In like terms of preseason like analysis, like I would, like Swansea would be going up. I think if they just hang on to everyone else, I think it'd be a good shot for him. And then he'd be in the Prem.
Daryl Dike is the kind of player that if you gave him a full season in the English Championship, he's a dude coming away with like 30 goals. Like he's one of those.
Absolutely sick.
I would love it. I mean, I just want to see him playing in the Prem, right? But obviously, I think maybe if you're looking long term, if you're playing it safe, Sam, I like it. But no, I don't hate it at all. Obviously, Swansea will also splash the cash too, because you got to think about a team that's going to pay the 20 million that Orlando City has labeled on the head.
He's not going to go for that price.
I don't think you're getting that, but that's what's been thrown out there. But let's go with another dude who scored a big goal, this past week. And maybe it wasn't against Mexico, but it was against another opposition. Reginald Jacob Cannon, Reggie Cannon. I wanted to say his full name because when I was looking it up, Reginald Jacob is a fantastic name. 23-year-old right back from Boa Vista in the Portuguese top flight. No, Boa Vista definitely not one of the better clubs in Portugal, but
they survived relegation.
And Reggie Cannon.
That's a mental attitude right there.
He made a name for himself after the 2020 season. 108 games combined in his career between Boa Vista and FC Dallas, 18 caps for the U.S. men's national team. And I am still surprised that this young man is 23 years old. Blew my mind when I read that because I just feel like Reggie Cannon's been everywhere, right? Like I just feel like
because we started talking about guys when they turned 15, like, and then we got hyped about them.
An FC Dallas right back? Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, I'm all for the FC Dallas right backs.
It's incredible, that FC Dallas system, even though they just lost their top youth development spots or whatever the hell it is to Philly. But Reginald
Philly, pretty good too.
Yeah. Reginald Jacob Cannon. I want to see this man leave Portugal. I know there's a lot of connections after the season he had with the top 3 in Portugal right now. I know that they're all very much interested in Reggie, apparently. I do want to see this man head, not overseas, as overseas to us, but still staying in Europe. Sam, I'm going to go down what you said before with the Ligue 1 train. I know picking a
the same team as me
is a little risky. It's definitely a little risky because we don't know financially what's going on in France. Obviously the TV contract stuff sucks and all of that, but I really feel like there's plenty of teams in France who could kind of use a right back like Reggie Cannon, a dude who's, I think, pretty solid defensively, but then at the same exact time, a guy who, can come in and he can really kind of get up into the attack a little bit. For me, I am going with, I'm so torn on what I want to do. I am going to go with Saint Etienne, mid-pack Ligue 1 team. I think they could use a little bit of depth as well. They could use a dude who can start. I think Reggie would come in as a starter, to be completely honest. And Reggie's already had some eyes looking at him in Ligue 1 too. So I think if he goes, he performs in a middle tier type, Ligue 1 side. They finished 11th last year, minus 12 goal differential. You can definitely add a defender to help that. I think Reggie Cannon can come in, do a great job, maybe get the eyes of a Monaco, of a Marseille, Lyon, top of the tier there. And if he does what he did for me when I was the manager of PSG and my football manager scored 5 goals in his 1 year for PSG. So maybe future right back, Reggie Cannon, PSG. But for right now, Saint Etienne. I don't know who wants to go next. I've been writing it down.
Vaughn, do you want to go?
Yeah, I would love to. I am going a little different route on my thinking for Reggie Cannon.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, I would love to see him go to Serie A. Italians known for their defenses. And I'm going to go, once again, a kind of logical route and say a team that has had an American before and isn't afraid to go that route, which is going to be Roma. They had Michael Bradley back in the day. This is a team that was just outside of major competitions. They finished 7th in Serie A and struggled defensively, had 58 goals against. I think he's a guy that could come in and help out and would be a really good step for him in his career. So, yeah, Serie A, Roma is where I would love to see Reggie Cannon go.
Can I just poke one hole in that one?
That's Brian Reynolds.
Brian Reynolds. God
poor guy. He's going to be behind Reggie Cannon again.
Sitting behind them one more time.
Also, Jose Mourinho is going to be their manager. So
yeah, that one's tough too. But
God help us all.
Can you?
I do like Roma though.
Can you explain? I guess I'm a feeling like you're not high on Brian Reynolds right now.
I mean, I think we all, but we can all look at Reggie Cannon. We know what his ceiling is, right? Like I think we all can agree that Reggie Cannon is ahead of a Brian Reynolds.
Yes.
And so would it suck for Brian Reynolds? Yeah, but I think Reggie Cannon could step in there, immediately play, and be an upgrade for them and take them to another level. Brian Reynolds is not that.
Okay, I respect it, Sam.
So so for one, I only know this because I listen to Total Soccer Show a lot. But if you guys don't know, Boa Vista has a link in France, to Lille, who might be champions of France right now, but they are not going to repeat that. There's absolutely no way in my mind that they repeat that in a normal year. So congrats to Lille on winning Ligue 1, but I just don't see it happening again. And they already have a really good right back in Selak, I think his name is, and I think he's also the starter for Turkey at the Euros.
Yes, I know you're talking about.
Yes, who's obviously not painting himself in glory at the Euros right now because Turkey's looking pretty rough.
Yeah.
But he had a really good year, and he's got a lot of options for moves, especially in Italy. The Italian sides really like Turkish players as well as the Bundesliga, so there's a lot of options for him to move closer towards home and kind of just upgrade, do better. He's a very, very good player. And if Lille could just easily, and for a nominal fee probably compared to anyone else, sign Reggie Cannon from Boa Vista, like that would be great, especially in a league where you're going to have Ligue 1, Champions League, 2 competitions this year. Like they're going to need a backup who's not a 20-year-old French guy who has never really started in his life. So, like Reggie Cannon, who's already had a year on a relegation battling team who staved off relegation this year, like that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think so. He's got like a heck of a mentality on him, and he's very, very good defensively, attacking minded too. He would do good in Lille, I think. I do foresee it as a backup at first. And I think that Selak's going to get signed in January probably, and Reggie Cannon's going to have the starting job starting in February 1st.
Yeah, Lille was definitely one I was leaning towards. I don't know why I was just leaning towards Ligue 1 in general, but
it's close to Portugal.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But yeah, I know Lille, it's the same ownership group or something like that of Boa Vista.
I think the Boa Vista owner is a minority holder in Lille.
Yeah, something like that, right?
I
So
don't know.
there's that club connection there. Look, we'll see. I could also see him staying in Portugal as well. Reggie Cannon is definitely a tough one to pinpoint down, but I like the thought experiment, guys. Vaughn, do you want to pick the next one? I think you're up.
Oh man, next one. Well, Sam earlier mentioned Bob Bradley, and there was a guy Big Man Bob. There was a guy I kind of love to see playing under Bob Bradley, and that's Yuli Linez.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
love it.
So Yuli's been linked to the Houston Dynamo, and I don't know if I'm really buying into that, but I would love the idea of an LA Galaxy Academy guy getting picked up by LAFC. And at LAFC, they have a little bit of I wouldn't say it's a hole at left wing, but right now it's Corey Baird that's basically holding it down there. Yeah. I would love for Bob Bradley to get his hands on Yuli Linez and have a little competition between Yuli and Corey Baird at left wing. And I just love the narratives that would form. So yeah, that was just one that I had my eyes on for somebody that could come back to MLS and go from the LA Galaxy Academy, but then play for LAFC. I just would love that narrative.
I love it because I think Sam, I feel like we've talked about it before as well. Yeah. I am a guy who, like, if a U.S. men's national team player or U.S. soccer player in general is like not doing well or they're struggling a little bit, like, come home, like, we'll coddle you, we'll make you feel good. And he's young enough where he could pull a Zach Steffen. We come home, we make you a good player, and then let's get you back over to Europe where, obviously you've had your, you've had your rumors about you. You've been on Wolfsburg, you've been playing for Heerenveen, right? The 20-year-old's not had the greatest start to his career outside of the Galaxy system. So I want to see him come home, and I'm completely with you, Vaughn, but I'm hitting home a little bit closer to you. I want him to be an American for Charlotte FC. Let's get him on that front line. Let's get him being that American face, young kid. Let's get excited. We got a young 20-year-old American. And for the passive soccer fan, right? Experience with the Bundesliga, experience in Eredivisie. He's coming out of the Galaxy system. You can just spin this any way you want to spin it. But Yuli Linez is bring you home. Let's bring you to Charlotte FC, and let's let you thrive. Let's just let you right now, like, not personality wise, I don't want to make this comparison, but it was like when Atlanta, was showcasing Andrew Carleton all the time, right? No, Carleton's bad dude. I'm not talking about that stuff, but like Yuli Linez, like let's showcase you as this young, talented American that we can just have. And, also when you're building an expansion team, an American helps the roster as well. You don't have to spend, international spots and everything like that. So that's where I want to see it. Yeah, you're a little bit of a year in delay. So where's he going to be for that year? It's also a piece of it too, but not worry about it right now. Sam, do you have any picks for Yuli? Oh,
yes, I do. I really like the LAFC pick. I think that's very exciting. Charlotte FC is a good one. I will stay in the East. With mine, I think that Ulianes could do very well at New England Revolution, where I think he could lock the left wing up and hold it down. And, easily you got Gustavo Bo up front, Carlos Gil playing that center in like that 4-2-3-1. He can play on either wing, like that is a thing, but he just needs minutes. I think a guy like Bruce Arena could give him minutes and just have him playing with very, very talented top-tier MLS players and get him, showing off to, even if it's just alone, to the Wolfsburg front office and just be like, look, he's still got it. He had a death in the family this past year. It was really hard on him, especially when you're playing in the Netherlands where he was not getting minutes. So he needs to play, and I feel like MLS is a good step for him. But I don't want him to kind of be locked here, I think alone better than the alternative.
Yeah. No, look, I think that's also very, very fair as well. You guys went with like nurturing Yuli, developing him underneath former U.S. men's national team managers. I went with let's throw him in the limelight, baby. Let's get him to be a star for a brand new team.
LAFC he'd be a star.
I mean, yeah, he. I feel like he would definitely be a starter for LAFC. I feel like the Revsy might be a backup, but definitely getting minutes under Bob. I don't want to drag this on too much longer, so I'm gonna let you guys. Do you have any last player that you had a super strong pick? I don't want to just end it. If you guys had a connection or a guess or one you want to talk about, I'll definitely want to let you guys do it. Vaughn, did you have anybody?
I have one that I want to throw out there, and it's another return to MLS, and that's Tim Ream.
Yes.
I would love Tim Ream to come back and play for Red Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they got Aaron Long out for a long time. And I think Tim Ream could step in and return to Red Bulls and be that guy for them at the tail end of his career, maybe a little bit, but I think he could step in and be that guy to fill the hole.
No, I want to see that too.
Yeah,
I've been saying it. Just bring him home. He's at the end of his career. He's the end, but he's 33, right? It doesn't look like he's playing. He's going to be a consistent player for Fulham, even if they go back down to the championship. So let's bring him home. He's said he doesn't want to make a return to MLS yet. I don't really know how many options you have out there, bro, but that's just what I'm looking at.
He's only got 1 year left on his contract. Like, I think he's going to ride it out first and then go to MLS on a free. A way he can like pick his team kind of thing, even with allocation rules and stuff. I think he's gonna have like a kind of pick for what he wants to do, and with 1 year left, I think that would make the most sense. Is come back as a 34-year-old left back defender.
I think if the Red Bulls are smart, they bring back Ream. I know a throwback name that many U.S. men's national team fans may not even really think of, but Ventura Alvarado coming out of Liga MX. Let's bring up Ream at the left center back, Alvarado at right center back. You have a bunch of young fullbacks and Gutman and Duncan and Tom Edwards. You kind of reconstructed your back line right there. Sell Aaron Long. Give him his shot in Europe, and that's how we get the Red Bulls back to looking decent, defensively at least. I know offensively they've been looking very good so far this year, but very good shout, Vaughn, with the Tim Ream pick. Sam, is there a final player that you had a really strong feeling about that you wanted to bring up?
I kind of just want to talk about him because I think our opinions of him, at least mine has, and I think Tom, yours has really changed in the past like 2 to 3 weeks.
Nope.
And that is our lovely striker up front, Josh Sargent.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
So, for the love of God.
I think you were going to say.
No. For the love of God, Josh Sargent, like, I used to think he was really going to be the next big thing, and I can't figure him out. But I don't think he should be playing in the Zwei Bundesliga, if I can use German for a second. And so, I mean, I still want him to go to a team in the Bundesliga, and I think that a team like Reuter Fürth would be good. He already has an American connection with Julian Green on that team. They do play a 2 up front where their top goal scorer, assist getter was their striker last year in the second division, and so I think if he could play off of him, I think that'd be really good. He does kind of like to sit deep sometimes, but maybe you could get him to play more freely. But at the end of the day, if you're going to play on a team at the bottom of the Bundesliga, you're not going to get many chances to score. And I don't know, Josh Sargent just seems like such a tough pick, but I can't believe that there's no way he stays in Bremen for another season, right? I was actually shocked when you said Gladbach. I couldn't imagine him playing for Gladbach next season.
So that's the thing is these rumors to Gladbach are legitimate.
What?
He's going
that's crazy to me.
It's almost as official as the Conrad de la Fuente to Marseille, type stuff, which, it's this is probably going to happen. And I don't know how I feel. I don't know if it's a good fit, but maybe he's going to have more help at Gladbach and you can really see him
play for a better team.
Look, Weston McKennie going from Schalke to Juventus. I'm not saying that, Bremen to Gladbach is that much of a jump, but you're playing European minutes at that point. You're playing for a top, right? I think at least they made it for next year, I hope. But they're a top side in the Bundesliga. So, I mean, you really have to, that's crazy to me. But yeah.
To be fair, he's been on a trash Bremen team.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's been like their best player.
And they've been.
I don't know what striker could play for Bremen and make them better, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yep.
I guess, we could talk. There's a lot of players, right? But again, I don't want to drag this on too long for us, for the listeners, for everything like that. The last player I want to bring up is Gianluca Busio, because I've been very critical of this man on the podcast. I still don't get it. I'm going to be honest.
I don't get why you're so critical of him.
It's just,
have you watched him in the past month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah, seriously.
I don't like
except
him
for that Austin game. Yeah,
I don't like him as a 6.
Sorry,
he's been playing deeper, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's been playing a little bit deeper, and he's been doing well passing from a deeper position. But a lot of Serie A teams are apparently not listening to me, and they're listening to you guys, and they're super interested in Gianluca Busio. Obviously, we've been hearing for years, right, that Serie A teams want to bring in the non-cap tied American. At this point, we also have to remember that
the Italian FA wants him too.
Yeah, maybe we lose into Italy. I don't think so, but maybe we do. We stole a player from the Dutch, so I mean, I really don't know what the hell is happening. But
his father's Italian.
Yeah, no, exactly. He could legitimately go to the Italian national team, and if he goes to a Serie A team and starts performing, we got to cap tie this dude, and I want to cap tie him in the summer's Gold Cup.
At the Gold Cup.
I want to do that. That's like the ideal situation. But I want to see him in a spot where he's not starting, because I mean, look, me personally, maybe my opinion's also, again, a little bit lower, but I think I want to see him coming off the bench and getting solid minutes and just consistently playing, coming off the bench and getting a spot start here and there. Again, to me, a little positionless, but that's still my bad take on Gianluca Busio. I could see him going to AC Milan, kind of filling in here and there, whether he's playing a little bit more attacking, a little bit further back in the midfield, maybe more central, whatever it may be, pushing out, I think AC Milan, they definitely play with wings. Yeah. Maybe pushing out on the wing here and there. I could really just see him kind of excelling there, growing there, learning there, and also getting the notoriety of a big time Italian club as well. So I like that. I don't know if you guys have any Gianluca Busio takes you want to say before we look ahead to the weekend real quick, but go for it.
Vaughn, I have to assume you have a take as well as I do.
Yeah, I've got some takes. I'll let you go first.
I was gonna say you should probably finish up. I think I'm on Vaughn's page with Busio. Very, very high ceiling, exciting player. The team that kind of sticks with me is Sassuolo in Serie A, because they are definitely about to lose Manuel Locatelli, especially after the Euros that he's had already. Not even including what I'm sure he's going to do in the knockout rounds and stuff. Italy's very, very good at the Euros, and so to lose a player who was originally marked at 40 million, who's got to go for more than that. Bring in someone like him who's talented, who can play as that kind of 6, in the midfield. You go up front, further, and the way Sassuolo plays does give them freedom. I don't watch a lot of Championship or EPL, but I watch a lot of Serie A, apparently, as I've watched all of their games. So I think that he actually would succeed there, but that would just be a stepping stone to a bigger team, I think. Yeah, that's a stopgap for Sassuolo, and it's just a stepping stone for Busio.
It's a Locatelli, right? Locatelli setting himself up for the future. I could see it.
Yeah.
Look, I like that pick as well. I think for me, not really being too high on him, I think I kind of shot high with the team, but it is what it is. I like the Sassuolo pick though. Vaughn, I obviously the SKC fan here. What are your thoughts where Busio could potentially?
I'm excited for this.
I don't care where he goes as long as he goes for more than 6 million.
That's I'll write that down. 6 million.
Yep, 6 million or bust.
Yeah. So he has been linked to Fiorentina, Sassuolo, and Parma. Allegedly, last year, Sporting turned down an offer for $4 million from Fiorentina. That one makes a lot of sense, especially if they are still interested and come back. They've already got a negotiation point where they know don't go below that number. So that's a good starting point there. I think we all agree that Serie A is where he's being targeted and is likely going to end up. So for me, I would love for him to go to Fiorentina, and if not there, the previously mentioned Roma. Because once again, a number 6 American, that would be a really interesting spot for him. I don't see his, where's his best spot as being a big problem, because now teams can look at him and be like, no, he's versatile. We can put him at the 6 and he can have 90% possession and dictate tempo and step into passing lanes and do a really great job of that. Or he can get involved in the attack and be a solid number 8 and be a ball winner and be smart positionally. Or he can be the guy that we had put out wide and cuts inside. And he's also now an option on free kicks. His ceiling is massive. And for what he's already doing, I think he just turned 18. I should know what I'm pretty sure he just turned 18.
See, we talked about him when he's turned 15 . Like, it's been a crazy couple of years.
I have it right here. He's 19. He just turned
19. Okay, 19. Excuse me.
He's getting old.
No, like he literally had a birthday like within the past month. But his skill set is unbelievable. He plays well beyond his age. And I think it doesn't really matter where he goes, as I said, as long as he goes for a lot of money.
I think that's true. That's true. That's fair. That. I think he's gonna excel anywhere in the Serie A that he goes to. I think he is good enough where I can say that. I was looking at Roma too when I was looking at teams for him. I think Roma's a good fit. Honestly, just the Jose Mourinho thing worries me.
I just feel like Mourinho's not going to do it. Like, I just don't think he's going to buy an American. I think he's kind of a jackass.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. I mean, he literally fucking ruined my team. So,
yeah, exactly.
You know what? I got it figured out. I want Sporting KC to screw this thing up the same way they did with Eric Palmer-Brown. He goes out of contract.
They did.
He comes back home to North Carolina and plays for Charlotte FC. Boom.
Hey, that's another one. Hey, but look, Eric Palmer-Brown, another dude we could potentially
talk
against about. We're not going to, but
maybe we talk to Jason about that next week.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Let's wrap things up, guys. We'll go around. We'll quickly pick one game because MLS is back this weekend. That's fun. Yes, there was a game. There was a game last weekend. SKC versus Austin 1-1 draw. Daniel Shalhoub scored again. Brad Stuver had 9 saves. Fantastic. Woohoo. But we got more MLS games like officially back. Like we're back, like doubleheader tomorrow night, closing in on tonight. Bunch of games Saturday, 1 game Sunday. So I'll give you guys time to pick your games. I'll go first. And Sunday, I'm looking forward to the MLS delight on Sunday. We get a repeat of Heinze. We get a repeat of Heinze versus Jim Curtin. And I'm excited for maybe some tempers to flare head coaching wise. Maybe, we get some flares on the field as well, because I know Atlanta United players were not happy with, Union players CONCACAFing in CCL earlier this year. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I like a little drama off the field, and I think that's what Sunday could bring. Vaughn, you look ready? I'll go to you.
Once again, I've got 2. This is my time. I've got 2. I'll stick to just one. The Austin San Jose game, the opening of Q2 Stadium in Austin. This is a city that has their first pro franchise. When I say pro, I mean top tier professional team. Let me be PC here. I think that's pretty substantial. And we saw what attendance was for the U.S. women's national team game in Austin. They're going to show out, and it's going to be an insane atmosphere. And I think it's also a really great matchup. Austin versus San Jose should be electric, should be must-watch MLS action. Austin versus San Jose.
All right. Sam, you're up.
That was good. I like that.
Nice.
I feel like I'm taking the like the easy putt on this one, but LA Galaxy Seattle
Yeah.
on Saturday at 9 p.m. That's going to be a big one. Seattle's still looking like best team in MLS, but man, you cannot hide from that LA Galaxy front. So I don't know, but I feel like Seattle's going to score like 3 goals because LA Galaxy still can't defend. So I think it'll be a really exciting game with a lot of goals on both ends.
It'll be interesting to see how, obviously, the teams we mentioned and every team in Major League Soccer does coming back off an international break. You know, obviously
a long break too.
A long break. We've had guys playing during this break. We're going to have guys still missing from this break. You know, we're going to have also guys prepping for CONCACAF action coming up soon because the Gold Cup's not too far away. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see the roster rotation going on right now. I think it's also going to be a big piece to kind of start seeing this weekend, really heading into a busy summer full of soccer. But yeah, that's it. That's been episode 189, guys. We're only another 10 episodes away from 200, and that's also absolutely insane. But Vaughn, Sam, thank you guys, of course, for speaking with me once again. This was a long one, but I appreciate it. If you guys, the listeners out there, watchers out there, if you guys listened and watched this entire thing, then thank you for you too. If you guys, again, want to support, then follow us all on social media at MLSAces, MLSAces on Instagram. Vaughn, you're at VI Pullman. Sam, you are Uncle_Sam XIII. Thanks for that one, Vaughn. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. See you guys next week, and peace out.